Hello friends, my name is Ryan, and I'm going to tell you a story named The Atlanta Child Murders: A City's Search for a Serial Killer, which is a very amazing story full of twists. So, let's start. It all began on a chilly October evening in 1979. Atlanta, Georgia, a city known for its southern hospitality and vibrant culture, had become the center of something far darker. A series of inexplicable disappearances started to plague the city, each case raising more questions than answers. What seemed like random incidents quickly escalated into a chilling pattern, as children of all backgrounds, ages, and walks of life began vanishing without a trace. At first, the police believed these were isolated events, perhaps even accidents. But soon, the stories shared by terrified parents and frantic neighbors suggested something much more sinister was at play. Each child seemed to vanish without a single clue left behind. No screams, no witnesses, and no sign of struggle. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. Days passed, then weeks, and still, no one had any answers. The community was gripped by fear, and rumors began to swirl. Was it a man preying on these children? Was this the work of a serial killer? The questions were endless, and the terror it caused was palpable. Parents no longer allowed their children to play outside, and schools implemented strict security measures. Yet, the disappearances continued. As the number of missing children grew, law enforcement scrambled for leads. Detectives combed through neighborhoods, interrogated potential witnesses, and searched every nook and cranny of the city for clues. But despite their best efforts, nothing concrete emerged. The city was on edge. Fear became a constant companion for everyone in Atlanta. Then, a break came. A body was discovered. A young boy, barely 10 years old, was found in a wooded area near the outskirts of the city. His body, though hidden away, had been left in a place that suggested the killer was close, always lurking in the shadows, watching. The forensic evidence pointed to something chilling. It wasn't just a murder, it was the beginning of a pattern. Investigators soon discovered that the children had been strangled, with signs of deliberate restraint. Each of the victims had been carefully chosen, with little regard for the victim's background, as though the killer was methodically selecting them for reasons known only to him. As the bodies piled up, the fear in the city grew, but so did the determination to catch the killer. The people of Atlanta were not willing to let these crimes go unsolved. They demanded justice. The media turned its attention to the case, broadcasting the grim news and fueling the growing panic. As time passed, more bodies were discovered, each one telling a tale of innocence lost. The pressure on the police mounted, but still, there was no arrest. The police were stumped, baffled by how the killer seemed to disappear into thin air after each crime, leaving no trace. Then came the twist. A man named Wayne Williams, a 23-year-old man with a troubled past, was arrested. Williams had been in the vicinity of several crime scenes, and police finally linked him to the murders. The case seemed closed. Finally, the people of Atlanta had a suspect in custody. But as the investigation unfolded, shocking details began to surface. Williams denied his involvement, and the evidence against him was circumstantial at best. For years, doubts persisted. Was Williams the true killer, or had the police targeted the wrong person? Some believed that he was a scapegoat, a man who had been caught up in the panic surrounding the case. Others were convinced of his guilt, and the debate raged on. Despite the controversies surrounding the case, the murders eventually stopped, and Atlanta slowly began to heal from the trauma. But the shadow of the Atlanta child murders lingered, a reminder of a time when the city's safety was shattered, and the horrors of a serial killer loomed large. As the years passed, the question of whether the right man had been caught remained unanswered. While Wayne Williams was convicted of 2 adult murders, the other cases remained unresolved, and the true identity of the killer, or killers, was never confirmed. The Atlanta child murders were a haunting chapter in the city's history, a chilling mystery that would never truly be put to rest. And so, my friends, as you reflect on this story, you might wonder, could it have been someone else? Could there be more victims we'll never know about? The answers might never come, but the terror, the uncertainty, and the chilling memory of those lost children remain forever etched in the minds of those who lived through it. If you want to hear more stories like this, full of twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Don't miss out, there's so much more to come.